You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 214. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnard, otherwise known as Starro the Conqueror, the giant starfish from outer space. Oh man, I'm lame.
I like Starro stories. Later Starro stories are kind of cool, actually.
Are they?
Yeah. But they make it a little more like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of thing.
Oh. Okay.
So, more gooder.
Okay.
But yes, Comic Reflections is brought to you by The Outhouse. You can find our show and plenty of articles about nerdy things at theouthousers.com. If you enjoy our show, please subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher. Before we get going about our comics today, I want to talk about give a shout out to Nathaniel Hubbard and Kevin Cross. They host a podcast called Traveling Through the Bronze Age, and it is hilarious. I mean, look at Bronze Age comics. Yeah. They haven't recorded that show in a while. They're hoping to do some more in 2016. But Nathaniel, or Hub, he has another one that's very new called Teen Titans Wasteland, and I've been listening to that. It's really great also, and that's about Silver Age Teen Titans. So if you dig our show and you want to listen to something even better, just check those out. And both of those are on iTunes, so yay. So anyway, this episode we're going to talk about the Justice League of America, their first 3 appearances in The Brave and the Bold. And so this first story is from The Brave and the Bold, number 28, which is from March and April of 1960. And the cover is penciled by Mike Sekowsky and inked by Murphy Anderson. And on this cover, we've got Green Lantern, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and the Martian Manhunter. Interesting to note, Aquaman, this is his first ever cover appearance.
Really?
Yeah, he'd been a character around since sometime in the 40s, but he'd always been a backup feature and never a lead feature, never featured on the cover. Until now.
Yeah, poor Aquaman. He's not as lame as people say he is.
No, he's really
but
not.
There's good reasons to poke fun of him.
Sure. And
you will today.
Okay. But this story, the story in this issue, I should say, is called Starro the Conqueror. It was written by Gardner Fox, penciled by Mike Sekowsky, and inked by Bernard Sachs, Joe Giella, and Murphy Anderson. Yeah, the story is broken up into 3 chapters, and we won't get into each of those, but the Sachs, Giella, and Anderson are the separate inkers for each of those chapters. So.
Okay. So Aquaman is told by a fish that a giant starfish came down
from outer space.
Yeah, God. I mean, I've never been scared of starfish, and unless you're a benthic invertebrate, you have nothing to worry about starfish.
Well, the thing is, not everything has to be scary, and in fact, the power or menace can be coming in the guise of something innocuous. There's something cool about that.
Yeah, but I think they were going, man, starfish are cool, so let's make a big one from outer space. And yeah.
Okay.
That's the impression I got.
Okay.
Wouldn't that Kraken be better? Or Kraken?
It's Kraken.
Kraken? Okay.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or
maybe, but this is the whole. But the point of Starro is not a big thing like knocking over buildings. It's about taking over people.
Yeah, but a villain's got to look cool.
Okay.
It's just
as an alien menace from outer space, this is something different. It's not your typical little green men invading. Right. Like there's like a million of stories where another alien race comes to conquer the Earth. This is something very different, and I appreciate the difference.
Okay. All right, so Starro turns these regular starfish into starlets, I don't know, and sends them off to do some interesting little missions.
Yeah, now when Starro is taking over them, it's a hive mind. So as the heroes in the story do battle with the Starro's minions, they're battling with Starro himself.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Aquaman calls in the other crew, and let's see, Superman and Batman cannot, and Flash cannot come
because they're kind of busy.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman is on a date with Steve Trevor, and she heeds the call. So does Green Lantern and John Jones, the Martian Manhunter.
Right.
It's interesting that this is their first adventure, and it's not an origin story. They just come together, as in they're already an established group. And this kind of mirrors the Justice Society of America, which this was a Silver Age revival of them, or of that group or that concept. Also, which something was come up with by Gardner Fox. And like the Justice Society did not have an origin story in the Golden Age either. That was something that we read the issue, and it was done in the Bronze Age, like an untold story.
Why not? We had, and I think the first issue. No, it wasn't the first issue of Superman with the origin story, was it?
Of what?
Of Superman. I'm trying to think of in Golden Age.
Oh, yeah.
Usually,
typically you do, but not always. And in a team setting, it's all these characters had already had their origins, I think, and it was just about them coming together, and there was no big story about them how they came together.
Yeah, although it's probably like as exciting as ordering pizza or something like that.
Well, we read the story. It had something to do with the Justice Society. It had to do with Hitler and the Spear of Destiny, and it was actually quite exciting.
Yeah.
The Justice League, about 12 stories about issues. It's issue 9 of Justice League of America. They get around to doing the origin. But anyway.
Yeah. I enjoy origin stories, although I don't care if I ever see another Batman origin story again.
Well,
I've seen it 100 times. It's just amazing.
Well, yeah, and you don't need to spend the bulk of the movie doing it. You can do like a very short sequence.
Right.
So anyway, and also another parallel with the Justice Society, Batman and Superman were like honorary members, but they never really appeared in there except for like maybe once or twice in those adventures because they were said they were too busy with their own adventures. But really, it was they're already selling books like hotcakes. We don't want to overexpose them, or we don't we don't need to have them front and center. It's let's play up the teamwork of these other guys, who were all like co-features and things. So anyway,
so the first mission they do is the Starfish steals a nuclear bomb, and here's Green Lantern, and there's not a badly drawn bomber, and Green Lantern saves the bomber because it's about to crash.
Now, what does he do to save it?
Uses Green Lantern power.
Oh, the ring? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I figured that happened. I mean, he doesn't do anything special with it. He doesn't knock it off with like a giant spatula or anything.
No, he doesn't. I'm surprised.
As am I, to be perfectly honest.
He just the green power holds settles down the ship into a.
Oh, that's right. The plane was going to crash, right?
Yeah.
So
then there's a nuclear explosion.
Oh man! And Green Lantern shields himself with like a green bubble and the Green Lantern energy. But Starro has some kind of energy that he can blast, and he's fighting with Green Lantern. Starro is also kind of an energy vampire. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah, and Green Lantern wins, and that particular starfish turns into a regular starfish.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right, here we go. Starro versus Wonder Woman and John Jones.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman in the invisible jet.
Why?
No, I just wanted to make sure it was mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, the second starlet grabs a hollow science with a bunch of scientists in it. So then it lifts it up, and Wonder Woman and John Jones follow them, and they fight, and the starlet drops the building, and Wonder Woman's got to save him. And it's okay, John Jones, he does a lot of breath stuff.
Yeah.
Not really. That's never one of my favorite.
When Superman uses the blows really hard to make something. Yeah, I'm not as into it.
Yeah, because it can't be cool blowing on something.
Yeah, yeah, because if you did it, it would look ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. Now, maybe if Wonder Woman did that, it might be interesting.
Oh.
But that's
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, that's funny. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So with a bunch of lasso throwing and fighting and all this stuff, Wonder Woman saves the building and beats up the second Starlet.
Yeah.
All right, so
the Flash comes into the story now, and Starro.
Oh, the Flash did fix up what he was doing when he came in. So
I think he was fighting the Mirror Master.
no, he was fighting a tornado.
Oh, was that what it was? Oh, okay. I know the Mirror Master has a cameo in one of these stories. I was thinking it was this one.
Oh God. Okay.
What?
I mean, this is the sad part.
Okay.
This is where we meet. A car. It was the worst.
Well, you would be in agreement with both the creative teams at the time and the readership of the 1960s. Everybody hated Snapper, but it was a mandate by the publisher. I think Jack Leibowitz said, no, you got to have a teenage character in there. I think, but I actually enjoy Snapper because it's Silver Age craziness. They like Gardner Fox's middle-aged man is writing the hep cat teen lingo, and it's hilarious to me.
I wish they would have gotten a real hep cat. And
like a beatnik?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They call Snapper a hipster in this, which is really funny because of the modern context.
I know. I saw that too, and I chortled.
Yes. As one would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, the grass mat is the coolest. Wait till Daddy-O casts his orbs on it.
This is what he means by he mowed the lawn real good.
Yeah.
Dad will be pleased. Yeah.
Mom, Dad, sis, you look like you're in Transville. What happened? What happened?
Yeah.
I had a buddy who said, "What happened?"
Apparently that's genuine kind of lingo. But Starro, this is showing for the first time in the story that Starro was taking over people.
Yeah.
And why was Snapper immune?
Oh, we'll find out.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd mention a lead into that.
Yeah.
So the Flash comes along.
Mm-hmm. And he's fighting the third Starlet. And and he's pounding. Oh, yeah. He's pounding his feet so he makes the water...
Oh, like a tidal wave.
Tidal wave and all that stuff. And then he pushes Snapper car in his Snapper car's car.
It's it's a hot rod.
Like Speedsville. Wow.
Just think, we're gonna have a lot of stories with Snapper car.
Yeah.
He's in every Justice League story of the Silver Age.
You hear these fingers snapping, Flash? That's my way of showing I like something. That's why the cats around here call me Snapper. Yeah, I call him something else, but man. Yeah, that always fails to be hip in a comic book, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't read much new stuff, so...
I don't see it happen too much in Kirk Comics, but oh my gosh, I love it, because I love the kookiness.
Oh, I can be amused, but yeah, sometimes it's amusing. Snapper is annoying to me, but was there any hippies in comics?
Not as major recurring characters. They'd just be incidental.
Yeah. Right.
But once 1966 or beyond comes along, yeah, sure. Once hippies were a thing, of course they're used.
Yeah. But I'm talking about Snapper Carr the hippie. That'd be even worse.
He doesn't get involved in the counterculture. He stays pretty.
Well, the hipsters are counterculture.
Well, I mean the hippie thing, because Snapper is kind of leaning on beatnik. The first half of the 60s are still kind of an extension of the 50s.
Right.
Okay. And and especially because DC is kind of slow to get with the times.
Yeah.
Snapper stays, the way he is throughout the Silver Age.
Yeah, Snapper, the pathetic hipster. Okay.
Oh man.
Isn't he other kind?
At least he doesn't have a man bun or a beard.
Yeah. Hey.
Well.
I have a beard, ladies and gentlemen.
Not a man bun.
But I have a weak chin. So what can I do?
Grow a beard.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Van Dyke. No, I would like to have a Van Dyke. That'd be
Oh,
really cool.
sure.
Oh, okay. So the Justice League minus Soups and
And Batman.
Batman.
So now we see Aquaman and Green Lantern. Finally, Aquaman, the aquatic superhero, fighting the aquatic villain.
Ooh, yeah.
In the last act of the story.
Right.
He tipped the rest of them off, but that was it.
Yeah.
You'd think he'd be taking the lead on this.
Yeah.
Opportunity lost there to make Aquaman look cool.
So they're wondering, hey, Snapper, why aren't you in Transville?
Yeah. Because when he did the yard, he laid down some lime, and lime is something that can block Starro's power, or we find kill him. So they're able to immobilize Starro with lime, using a lot of lime.
Man, lime is lame.
Yeah.
Well, they had to think of something. Lime.
It's sort of sciencey.
Yeah, it's sort of sciencey.
And DC's big on that at the time. This is a Julius Schwartz edited book. Science is going to come into play.
Yeah, so and the Justice League beats up Starro with a lime. These barrels of lime.
Yeah.
And actually, he's imprisoned in an unbreakable shell, a living statue of lime.
Weird.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
But they make the mistake of making Snapper Carr into an honorary member of the Justice League.
Jeff hates it.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting to note Superman and Batman really only have cameo roles.
Yeah.
And it'll be like that for a little while. It's a while before they really bring them in to be major parts of the story.
Yeah.
But it's okay because they're already...
That's super fine with me. Superman can do anything. He doesn't really need Justice League. So
right. And it's kind of like, what do you need a Justice League for when there's Superman?
Right.
So
there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of cats stuck in trees,
Sure.
Yeah. Superman can get them all. So.
Right. What was I going to say? One other thing that I wanted to mention was you'll notice the characterization, other than maybe Snapper, is all pretty uniform. The dialogue is pretty much interchangeable between everybody. They're not really distinct personalities. It's really about the distinct look and the distinct powers. Gardner Fox is really not a character-driven writer. He's a plot-driven writer, which means he's a great guy to work for DC in general, Julius Schwartz specifically. He would have been good on the Superman books, under Mort Weisinger, but Weisinger probably would have given him an ulcer.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about the Brave and the Bold number 29, which is the May and June of 1960 issue. Let's talk about this cover for a minute. This is again by Mike Sekowsky and Murphy Anderson inking. Yeah.
There's this big robot with a kind of a
you know how those bombers had that bubble where the machine gunner was in underneath them? This is kind of like that, an upright robot with like a guy piloting it in the stomach. And that's the weapons master.
Too close to the nether regions. So
I didn't even think about that until just now.
Yeah. But well.
I'm looking at these innocently because of when they're coming from. But
the Justice League is fighting them, and it's pretty dang cool. So
again, no Superman or Batman on the cover, but it's all 5 of the other team members, I believe.
Aquaman. They mentioned the roll call, but the roll call isn't the roll call in the Outer Space Gang. For crying out loud, it slips my mind. I'm going senile.
The Legion of
Superheroes. When they do the roll call,
they're based on Earth, right? But typically it means that's who's involved in that story.
Right.
Well,
here they mention Superman, Batman,
because they want you to know that they're members of the team, but their later stories would be like, the roll call is who's really involved, heavily involved in the story. But this is like only the second adventure. Right. They want you to make sure you know that Superman, Batman are at least going to show up at some point.
Yeah.
So, but this story is called Challenge of the Weapons Master, and it was written by Gardner Fox, penciled by Mike Sekowsky, and inked by Bernard Bernie Sachs and Joe JLA.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Zotar is a weapons master.
He's from the future.
Yes. So he gets a Wonder Woman wrote a book and saying that Zotar defeated the Justice League of America. You can't see how he did it because you can only see Zotar defeated JLA.
Right. It's blurred and missing sections. It's a very old book. It's centuries old. And I can't remember what century it's in. It's
11,960.
Wow. So that would be, what century would that be?
The
Not the 30th century. That's where the Legion are. 2000.
So we're 20.
Oh, this is like
110. It's the 100. It's the 120th century.
Oh, yeah. So it's way in the future. Oh,
Right.
okay.
Mhm. And
So it's like 10,000 years in the future.
from when this was written. 1960.
Yeah. Okay. 10,000 years in the future. And Legion's only 1,000. Okay.
So Zotar, the cops are after him. He's got these 4 weapons that will defeat anything, but he doesn't know which one will. So he reads a Wonder Woman book, and one of my weapons defeated them, so that must be the weapon I need to use. So I'll use my time machine and go back and see which one of my weapons defeat them. And then I'll know how to stop the... What are these cops called? They're called something.
It's not the science police, but it's, I don't know, it's the law, man. Johnny Law.
Intersolar police.
Intersolar police. But yeah, then he'll know how he'll defeat the intersolar police.
And that's the plot.
Okay.
So,
Not bad.
So, okay, Sniper Car is captured, but unfortunately he's not killed.
He's captured by okay, so the Weapons Master's time machine is also a giant robot.
Right.
Which is awesome. And as he captures Snapper, Snapper says, "Dig that crazy claw. Hey, it's coming right at me."
Yeah. Man, this is a real drag. Okay.
Man.
Oh, God. What a great idea of having a robot be the time machine.
That's awesome.
Because you go in a time machine, you go in a dinosaur land, and a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm in a robot. I can fight him already.
Yeah.
So,
It's having your time machine be a giant robot. That's kind of, it shows a lot of forethought.
yeah.
More so than say a blue police box,
Yeah.
which is generally stationary. I mean, you can go somewhere else because, but I like this that it goes in time, but it also has legs and it's mobile
and claws and all kinds of stuff.
weaponry. Hence the Weapons Master. It's a great idea.
So let's see. So what happens here? He makes a Sniper Car call the JLA.
Oh, with his JLA signal device, which is on the belt. I want to note that because they'll be inconsistent. They will not be on the belt all the time.
Right.
So
they don't know how to fight. They're in the JLA headquarters.
in
the yellow lights showing.
The secret sanctuary.
Yeah. So the yellow light's showing, so Green Lantern can't do anything. So the Weapons Master says, "Well, I'll fight each of you one at a time," and
Of course.
yeah. So he fights the Flash first. What does he use? Gosh. So he's been shooting at it with a laser beam. The microscopitor. That's it.
I love it. I love it.
And he's making the Flash smaller and smaller. So the Flash gets the idea of going down on the ground and then coming up through him with his super vibrating, and he can go past through walls vibrating very fast. Which is kind of cool.
I like that.
So the Flash destroys a weapon, and
that does make me think of one thing I want to mention. I think DC is better at finding new and interesting ways to apply superpowers than Marvel typically were.
Yeah.
Marvels are kind of like when it's more about character than plot, and so the use of superpowers is more rudimentary and kind of like takes a back seat to what's really going on in the story with the characters. Marvel's character-driven, DC's plot-driven.
Huh, interesting.
I mean, they'll both have strong plots, and memorable characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
interesting observation.
Yeah.
I suppose you made it. But
thanks.
Coming from you,
right?
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so all right, so here comes John Jones, and he's going to fight the Weapons Master, and Zotar is going to use his de-evolutionizer weapon.
Right. I wonder what it does to John Jones.
It's supposed to
devolve him.
Yeah, into something else.
Does it turn him into a tortoise?
No, Aquaman's riding it.
Aquaman's riding a turtle.
God Almighty! And he sends a bunch of octopi to attack the robot. Oh, how lame! Okay, so, and then he sends clams, and
right.
And then John Jones uses his breath to make sand into a glass and put silver in the back of it to make a mirror.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But the de-evolutioner ray, did it do anything to him, really?
No, it didn't. It just he made it. He shot at John Jones. The mirror shot it back at the de-evolutionizer. The evolutionizer turned into carbon.
Oh, okay.
It de-evolutionized itself.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay, so
back at the secret sanctuary.
Yeah. Batman's here.
Yeah.
So is Wonder Woman and Green Lantern. And Man of Steel is not.
Yeah, and Snapper Carr, of course.
Oh, God. So they're at Mount Rushmore.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. His weapon this time is the Magneto Bubble.
Right. So Wonder Woman flies around Mount Rushmore in the Invisible Jet, and Weapons Master uses the Magneto Bubble Ray on her and traps the Invisible Jet in it. Apparently, even though he couldn't see it, he knew it was there because future science, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So it's
or maybe someone forgot the jet was supposed to be invisible.
I mean, yeah.
But anyway,
That's
Green Lantern.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh.
Green Lantern's there. What does he do to help?
He saves Wonder Woman.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And let's see. Wonder Woman uses lasso to destroy the weapon or pull it up.
Yeah.
And to miss. And the Weapons Master doesn't understand why he can't. Why he's keep missing. So he gives up. Oh, they destroy the weapon. They give up. So now here's the next challenge of the Weapons Master.
Okay, and this is the last part of it. So the League United are going to go and face the Weapons Master because he was getting them one or two at a time because that's the formula for how these go.
Yeah. Okay, so they come into this planet and there's a bunch of dinosaurs, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And they're fighting that.
Yeah. They go to another planet?
It looks, or it isn't. It looks like another planet because he's using the illusion maker.
Oh, right.
I call it an illusionometer or something.
That would be funny. Well, see, that would to me would signify that it detects illusions.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh.
But anyway, he's using illusions. That's so funny how often that gets used by supervillains.
Yeah. And here comes Superman. Yay. Actually, yeah, illusion because
you know what?
It makes something. You can make something unicorns and all that, and then explain them. Oh, it was an illusion.
Right.
Oh, it was all a dream.
Right.
You know.
What I realized, here comes Superman, and that's the last chapter of the story. When you save Superman, kind of like, oh, if you don't incorporate him until the end, it's like if you've written yourself into a corner, he can be a perfect Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, I love that word. So, all right. So
it's actually 3 words. It's a phrase.
Oh yeah. Okay, grammar Nazi.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, the Red Skull of grammar.
Wow.
Oh, how to use that? That'd be great.
Okay.
That'd make a great T-shirt.
The Red Skull of Grammar.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, back to the story.
What did Superman even do?
He just beat up the robot and crushed everything. So they capture. So they send the weapons master back into the future, where he's captured by the solar police.
Yeah.
Inter-solar police.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand. Though all the books said I want to defeat him, but the
we see it as it's being written now in the modern times. Wonder Woman's writing it in their log or whatever.
Yeah.
Because of course they make her the secretary because she's the chick.
Yeah.
That's
just natural.
It's like he attempted to defeat the Justice League and failed, but when the book was old, it looked like it says he did defeat him.
Yeah. The Illusion Maker was one of the 4 weapons used by Zotar in his unsuccessful attempt to defeat the Justice League of America. Yeah. The weapons master wasn't that bright. Man, he should have just left in his time machine instead of picking a fight with the Justice League and gone to the year, I don't know.
If you had a time machine, you're eluding the police. Guess what? You could go anywhere.
Right, or any time.
Yeah. So yeah, but also I think the beginning of the story, you're thinking this guy's going to beat the Justice League. How is that going to happen? Mm-hmm. That's an exciting, especially if you're like 10 or 12 reading this.
Yeah.
That's a cool plot.
Yeah, it is.
And the misdirection, the classic DC misdirection.
Right.
It's fun.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've got one more story we're going to talk about today. And this is the 3rd and final issue of Justice League's run in The Brave and the Bold, their tryout run, their immensely successful tryout run. And this is from The Brave and the Bold, number 30, which was the cover dated July and August of 1960. Covered by, penciled by Mike Sikowski and inked by Murphy Anderson. We want to talk about the cover for a minute. We have a scene of the Justice League captured and in glass tubes at the mercy of Professor Ivo, and he's stealing their powers and putting them into this great giant android body, Amazo.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, not giant, but he's like 8 feet tall. That's giantish.
That's giant to me. I wouldn't mess with him.
Yeah. But and yes, the story is called Case of the Stolen Superpowers, written by Gardner Fox, penciled by Mike Sikowski, and inked by Bernard Sachs.
Okay. Flash is at Central City, and all of a sudden he loses his power for a little bit. Then he gets it back, and then he beats up
the Mirror Master.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to show up at one time. I just couldn't remember which story.
And the same thing happens to the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
He's saving a train, and then he gets a failure, and then comes back and saves the day. And same thing happens to Wonder Woman.
And Aquaman, too.
Mm-hmm. His fish are not obeying him. No. Oh, goodness. John Jones has the same problem with his super breath.
I use his super breath a lot.
I know.
You know, it's weird because it's really it's relatively underplayed with Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, they use it, but they're using it a lot with John Jones.
He usually uses it kind of... A lot of time it's used as a joke or something like that.
To like suck up a cloud of gas or to blow out a thing.
Yeah, or blow that Superman's real identity out of Lana Lang's hands.
Right, she's got it on a piece of paper and she's about to read it. Very good. And it's funny because John Jones, he has, except for I think like heat and X-ray vision, he has pretty much all the same powers as Superman, plus shape changing and telepathy.
Yeah.
He's pretty dang powerful.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't think he's like his super strength is like at the level of Superman though. He's very super strong, but
yeah. I mean, Superman can move planets at this time.
I think so, but yeah.
Yeah. You know, strength is sort of hard to quantify. I guess they could have. He can lift 10,000 pounds or something like that, or so,
sure,
or make it. Okay, so the Justice League.
I mean, having Superman lift up giant like ocean liners is almost cartoony.
Yeah,
like Popeye cartoon,
Yeah, it's a little bit too much.
Yeah,
the cars are fine.
Yeah, or a helicopter.
Yeah, or a tank even.
Yeah, But I mean, it should be like that's the maximum like of his thing. He should strain at those things to make it a little more dramatic.
Here's a 100,000-ton ocean liner. Oh,
yeah,
long day's work.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the story.
Okay, so
the Justice League are at the Secret Sanctuary. They're meeting. They're talking about this. Hey, we all lost our powers temporarily, except for Superman and Batman.
Right.
Because Batman has no powers, and Superman is only vulnerable to kryptonite or magic. So this is neither of those things. So
a European catfish was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which they are such a thing, and they get up to about 8 feet.
Oh, really? And it's because this catfish was old, right?
Right. They grow to an old age. And the guy stealing it used Aquaman powers to control fish, so he would have a walkway in the ocean. Which is actually, I don't know, it's kind of cool, actually.
I think I've seen stories where Aquaman walks on the backs of fish and different things like that. So.
They have a little block here of Aquaman describing it. Really looking sad. Hey, that's my thing. But it's actually kind of cool him going over this path of, I don't know, you see the guy running from it.
Right.
Alright. Then, they steal a cicada.
That screechy insect. Because they gestate their pupa or larva or whatever layer in the ground for like a long time, years and years.
17 years. Something
yeah.
Like
Ugh.
Yeah.
I heard that sound is like super obnoxious.
Yeah. Indeed.
I remember reading a Ray Bradbury story where they talked about the summer of the cicadas or whatever.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway.
Oh no! It's not our car. I think I can clue you in on that, Flash. When Flash asks, "Why steal these?" and he says, "They're the oldest living fish and oldest living insect." Yeah, but okay, you have the power of Wonder Woman and Aquaman and
the rest of the Justice League
and all those people, and you steal a fish and a bug. Why not go to? Why not go to Fort Knox and steal a mountain of gold and then buy the bug and all that stuff?
Right.
For crying out loud.
But he's taking a lot of steps out of it. Like, oh, I'll just take the bug and the fish now.
Yeah. But telling.
But here's the thing: if you invented a super-powered robot,
yeah,
and you're just using it to steal a bug and a fish, that is pretty funny.
How much can they cost? Oh, that's the most expensive bug in the world. Oh, here's this block of gold from Fort Knox. Sold. He's going to say boo.
You make a good point.
Oh,
that is a solid argument.
Yeah, why couldn't he have stolen Snapper car? He ages me more than anything else.
Oh
God. All right. Okay, so let's have the oldest person, and she lives in Peru, and the oldest animal is an elephant, and the problem with that plot is the oldest thing of what? I mean, there's 1,000. Is going to get the oldest cat or the oldest? Well, they do oldest turtle. I mean, the oldest.
He's getting things that are based on a relatively long-lived life.
Right.
Compared to a human lifespan.
They should have been parrots live to 100 years. There's no parrot. And, it's sort of... Well, it doesn't have to be the age... the number of years is not important. It's the age of... this is the longest lived of that species.
Right.
That's the impression I got. Oh, who cares? It's a comic book, right?
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, I forgot. Okay, so... Wonder Woman's talking to the oldest woman on Earth, and she says all these spirits from her spirit dolls is keeping her alive.
Right.
She doesn't have to worry about no space guys because she's got the spirit dolls. Okay. Wrong answer. Okay, so, let's see, the Flame. Oh, because he has John Jones's powers. He also has John Jones's weakness, which is flame.
Oh yeah,
And
Amazo does.
yeah. So the woman is beating up on the robot, and then she says, "Oh, I don't need this torch anymore," and then the robot wins.
Right.
That's kind of cool story. I like that.
Yeah. So Professor Ive, I like villains who have a singular obsession, and his is gaining immortality.
Yeah.
And I like Amazo because he's rad.
Okay. All right. Okay, they're on Bernardina Island where they're looking after a turtle.
Who was they? Green Lantern and Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Aquaman makes this bubble, and it's Amazo kind of fools them and all that, and uses yellow sand, and pretty clever.
Yeah, because remember, yellow sand to block the Green Lantern's power ring because it cannot, due to a necessary impurity in the power battery of the ring, the ring cannot affect anything colored yellow.
You ever see the movie Super Fuzz?
No.
Oh, it's got Ernest Borgnine and some other people in it, and it's a pretty cute little crappy movie, but it's
with Ernie Borgnine, huh? Is it from the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's so bad, it's fun. It's fun bad.
Okay.
Well, there's a Super Fuzz. He's got superpowers, but if he sees the color red, he has problems. So
interesting.
He loses his powers, and he gets married to his girlfriend, and this is the last thing you see in the movie is that she dyed her hair red. That'll show him because he won't have any power over it.
Oh man!
But I always love that. That's
funny.
It's a fun movie. Okay, let's see. So Amazo's fighting. So and then Amazo wins again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's just kind of cool. I like seeing superheroes lose.
Yeah. Having setbacks at least is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because you give them all these great powers and stuff, they can do all these things. That's an important part of the plot to like that it's not easy because otherwise who cares?
Right.
And then also conversely, their powers don't mean anything if it's super easy. You know what I mean?
Right. Which is a problem with the Star Wars prequels. The Jedi Knights were so powerful against those robots. You know,
sure. I know what you're talking about. The battle droids, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, you know, you might as well be sweeping them up or something. There's no tension. You have to have. Are these guys going to kill them? You never thought that at all.
Yeah. Well, the great thing about the original Star Wars trilogy, and I'll get off this really quick, but was that there were a group in the minority fighting against impossible odds,
right,
and overcoming it. That's exciting.
Yeah,
and you're rooting for them because of the underdog. And
the stormtroopers weren't great, but they're at least worrisome. You're kind of worried they're going to shoot.
And there was a lot of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but the Roger robots. Huh. Okay.
Is that like your most hated movie? I mean, I don't like it either, but like you bring it up a lot.
Yeah, it's just a great example of hubris and bad decisions.
Yeah,
and
how important it is to have somebody to tell you no.
Right.
Around.
It's a very good. You know, it's not the worst. The worst movie ever made was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Oh, I like it better than Phantom Menace. I'll tell you that right now. I've seen it many more times because I actually was entertained by it. It's goofy.
Oh, it's awful. But
anyway.
All right. So, okay, the Flash is beaten by Amazo. Because Flash is guarding an owl, which is an old owl.
Right.
Oh, so. Okay, so. Oh God, so So what Flash does is he's in an aviary, so he goes and plucks feathers and makes wings for himself.
Interesting. Because it's a while before they get Hawkman.
Yeah.
He's actually the last member in the Silver Age, I think, to join the team.
Is he?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
But
at least one of the last. Anyway.
Okay. So each time they capture the superhero.
Yeah, Amazo does.
Yeah,
and so they go back to Professor Ivo's lab on the ship, and now they're all in these glass tubes. And
with chlorine gas, which chlorine is poisonous. Chlorine gas was used in World War One.
Yeah,
that's so bad. Hitler didn't want to use it in World War II.
That's crazy. I mean, he experienced the gassing and the mustard firsthand. It's funny. Even Hitler didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So
then some using Zyklon B.
Well, but that was just to execute people. He just thought. I think he got to realize that in combat, that's fighting extremely dirty. Interesting. It's a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even he had a moment of like, oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Because he saw what mustard gas did to people.
Yeah.
It's horrific.
He was gas. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think there's a difference between killing somebody and disfiguring them, or causing long-term health problems.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's worse.
Because it's crueler than.
I'd rather be shot than gas to death.
Yeah.
And that kind of gas.
Yeah.
So. All right. So, Professor Avo is making Amazo even more amazingly powerful. And so he's getting all these old people, and he's making a serum so he can live forever. So he makes a serum, and he can, he'll add 500 years to his lifespan, which ain't bad.
No, not bad at all.
And Amazo's about to going to kick all their butts. And then Green Lantern comes and saves the day because chlorine gas is yellow as well as poisonous.
So, yeah, but you would think Green Lantern would be the least likely to save the day. Why is it he was able to overcome it?
Oh, actually, I don't know. It's a comic book.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's a comic book.
It's a greenish yellow gas. So he inhales the chlorine gas, and Amazo is going to aim his green.
Oh, Amazo couldn't take away Green Lantern's power because.
Right.
Oh, because Amazo was made vulnerable to the yellow too. I get it. And then it's flimsy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, but anyway, they overcome Amazo and Professor Ivo when they capture him. Professor Ivo is sentenced to 500 years in prison.
I thought that was delicious. I thought it was one of the best things I ever read in the comic book. That's hilarious.
Well, and it's crazy. It's like, wait, you got sentenced to 500 years in prison in 1960 for kidnapping and theft? Really?
Kidnapping can be a capital crime.
Okay, but you see, that's kind of like even Dillinger was shot and killed, but like people bank robbers got sentenced to 100 years. Yeah. 500 years?
Oh, people get 9 life terms.
Okay.
In order to try to make them, because you get off good behavior.
I don't think Ivo killed anybody.
Yeah, but he was messing with the Green Lantern and Aquaman.
Oh, okay.
And he really made Snapper Carr mad. So.
Oh man, well you gotta throw the book at him then.
Yeah, but those are fun. I enjoyed this. I hope you all had a good show. And I guess we'll see you in the funny pages.
Indeed.